All right, y'all, we got to talk about this. I like to call him the Temu Charlie Kirk. He is the Charlie Kirk replacement, who I'm not kidding about this. I'm not even kidding. Within an hour of Charlie Kirk getting shot in the neck and killed on TV, this dude was on cable news going, damn, bro, that sucks, man, but I'm ready to pick up that microphone and take over for him. You've got to be kidding me, bro. You have got to be kidding me. Look, I'm going to let all y'all know this right now. If I ever get murked and it's recorded, please, anybody who comes out within an hour or two of me being killed and is like, man, we love Kyle, but I'll take over, excise them from the movement completely. Like, just persona non grata, bro. Done. Over. It's a wrap. Because that shit is creepy as hell. The guy you allegedly care about so much gets murked on TV with a fucking tsunami of blood coming out of his neck, and you're on TV within an hour or two going, yeah, man, that sucks, but anyway, I'm still here. Oh, my God. So this guy, Temu Charlie Kirk, is a guy by the name of Bryland Hollyhand. Yes, that's his real name. As somebody pointed out on Twitter, you're not going to make it if, like, at least Charlie Kirk is a normal name, right? Your name is Bryland Hollyhand. Bro, you sound like you were born with a, $400 million trust fund. You sound like you were born on third and thought you had a triple. You sound like you'd be invited to the fucking Masters because your dad sits on the board of Augusta National. You know what I'm saying? And I love the Masters as much as anybody. But you get my point, right? You get my point. This kid's in the fucking polo club. So his name is Bryland Hollyhand. And, bro, as soon as Charlie was killed, this dude just started pretending like he was the next big thing. Like, hold on. He was on Ben Shapiro within a week, acting like he was the next big thing. Ben Shapiro was anointing him the next big thing. It's like, wait, you guys can't just make up that somebody is the next big thing. In order to be the next big thing, you have to be the next big thing. You have to already have a decent following. Maybe not as big as Charlie's, but a decent following. And so then it would be natural but no, he just hops in front of the cameras and acts like, I'm here. Okay, so ready for this? Look at this. The Rolex-wearing teen who claimed a private jet ride was a favor because he couldn't afford to drive himself charges $7,500 for a 2-hour appearance an undercover sting has discovered. His family made a fortune off low-income housing in Alabama. So yeah, I'm burying the lead here. But okay, so this is Bryland right here, as you can see on screen. He literally recorded a video in a fucking private jet wearing a Masters polo and a Rolex, and he was like, hey, this college, if you're there, still wait in line. I'm on my way there. We're about to have our next event. I hear there's a lot of people there, bro. I'll be there soon. Hang in there. Wait for me. First of all, there's no fucking line to see you. There's no packed auditorium to see you. And it didn't occur to you to not record in a fucking private jet wearing a Rolex and a Masters polo? You don't see how this sort of the whole thing about Charlie, the mythology around him, well, it's not necessarily a myth, but the whole, the narrative around him was, here's a guy who didn't even go to college. He's just a regular schmegular guy. He didn't even go to college, and he still owns these liberals at these big universities, bro, because it's common sense to be conservative. We're anti-elitist. And then here he is like, I am the elitist, Bryland Hollyhand. Oh, my God. MAGA is fucking pissed at this guy. So this is in the Daily Mail. He's a rich Alabama boy positioning himself as the next Charlie Kirk, but insiders say he's a complete fraud, charging obscene sums in wake of shooting that shook America. A bitter MAGA civil war fight has broken out over the abrupt ascent of Bryland Hollyhand, a 19-year-old conservative podcaster from a wealthy Alabama family who's been accused of positioning himself to be the heir to Charlie Kirk's activist empire. Bryland Hollyhand is a talking head who has no grassroots experience, no activism experience, and no business billing himself as the next Charlie Kirk. William Donahue, 26, chairman of the College Republicans of America, told the Daily Mail. So let's be clear. This is not Kyle Kulinski shitting on this kid. This is not the Majority Report shitting on this kid. This is not any liberal or lefty or even centrist. This is the head of the College Republicans of America going, hey man, fuck this kid. All right, here we go. Donahue worked directly with Kirk's Turning Point Action Group during the 2024 election cycle to register voters for Donald Trump. He was first introduced to Hollyhand when the teen who began his podcasting career in 4th grade was appointed to chair the Republican National Committee's Youth Advisory Council. Donahue says he reached out to Hollyhand in 2024, urging him to work with the RNC to build a unified college Republican infrastructure for voter registration. But he claims Hollyhand was more interested in promoting himself. Quote, he did nothing. We never saw him, Donahue said. He spoke at a couple of campuses, at a couple of events. He never joined us in any ballot chasing initiatives. He never registered any voters with us. The only thing he has done is use the position he had with the Youth Advisory Council to build a podcast and build his own brand. It's a disgrace to Charlie's legacy, he said. All right, let me just pause to point out, y'all can stop pretending that, like, the point was not self-promotion for Charlie, too. And the point's not self-promotion for Benny Johnson and the rest of these schmucks. Benny Johnson was bragging that, hey, I got Jimmy Kimmel fired because the FCC head, Brendan Carr, was on my show when he issued the threat and said we do this the easy way or the hard way. He was taking credit for it. Now, then when the narrative came out and they realized, oh shit, it's illegal for that to be the case, so now we got to pretend like, oh no, ABC made that decision on themselves. He immediately did an about-face and started pretending the opposite. But at the beginning, he was bragging. Why? Because all these motherfuckers, yes, do they care about right-wing politics? Sure. But really, first and foremost, they're fucking actors, right? They're actors. He's a self-promoter, right? So was Charlie, by the way. I know you're not allowed to say things like that since he's now not with us anymore, but I debated him. Yes, he's like that. Of course they are. All these right-wing creeps are. This all comes as Hollyhan embarks on 10-stop college campus tour, mirroring Kirk's events, further infuriating some of Kirk's allies who see it as an attempt to corner the Turning Point audience just weeks after the conservative icon was laid to rest. Guys, can I just point this out real quick? And this is super important to me. This is super important. The reason why everybody is just like sort of innately having this reaction, just intuitive, this gut, this visceral, like, fuck this kid, this is gross. The reason why people are reacting like that is because, very simply put, you didn't earn your stripes, bro. You didn't earn your stripes. You can't just hop in front of the fucking line. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, you can't just do it. Now, Charlie was one of one. There's going to be, I don't know if there's anybody else who's going to be able to marry like college Republican activism with like having a podcast and being a host in their own respect. But like, there's other people who are way fucking closer to that than you, Brylan. Right? And that's what people do not respect somebody who it appears like everything was fucking handed to you. You got to skip the line. You got it all handed to you. You're born with a silver spoon in your mouth. You don't even fucking realize it or acknowledge it. That's why people are furious with this kid, right? Because it's just so selfish. It's so greedy. It's so piggy to be like, I'm going to get to the front. Like, bro, what? How many fucking conservative hosts are out there that have been, just trying hard as hell on a daily basis on the dregs of fucking YouTube or the podcast world or Spotify or wherever the fuck, and they have a bigger audience than Brylan, but now Brylan gets promoted all over the place, and he gets to go out there and say, I'm doing a 10-city tour. What does that even mean? What does that mean? Bitch, I can barely do a 10-city tour. I could if I wanted to, but I've been doing this since 2012 full time, but the idea, I'm doing a 10-city tour, it just sounds so fucking pompous. Who are you? You're nobody, and you're doing a 10-city tour, a 10 college tour or some shit? Oh my God. I want to take a shower just thinking about this. Oh God, here's pictures of him. Here's him at the Cracker Barrel, because of course he had to hop on board whatever the fucking conservative scandal du jour is. Hollyhan, who calls himself the internet's youngest voice of reason, refutes the comparison to Kirk, posting on X, I'll never be Charlie. I don't want to be Charlie. I can't. He was one of one. I'm Brylan. Nevertheless, his tour has been marred by these accusations and others. Now the Daily Mail has learned Hollyhan may also be charging colleges and universities to speak on their campuses. The Daily Mail reached out to Premier Speakers Bureau, an agency that helps connect speakers and organizations, posing as an interested college student, and received the following response. Brylan's fee is $7,500 plus coach class airfare and expenses for two. Is that within budget? When reached for comment, Hollyhan denied ever receiving a payment for speaking on a college campus and claims he pays for his own travel costs. The Daily Mail then received another email from the Premier Speakers Bureau, which read in part, for campus events, Brylan is happy to work with whatever budget is available to bring in a speaker. He loves speaking to student groups and wants to make himself available without budgets being a barrier. Oh my God. They say, oh, it costs $7,500. Then when they realize, oh shit, we just got caught. This was a sting operation. Now they're going to write an article about how you charge that much. Then they send a letter going, oh no, actually, we'll work with you if you're a college group. It can be less than that, bro. No big deal. Unlike Kirk, who built Turning Point USA from a grassroots organization headquartered in his parents' garage to a nonprofit hauling in $100 million annually, Hollyhan is often dismissed by critics as a child of privilege whose family made a fortune off of low-income housing construction in Alabama. All right, hold on. Let me pause. Hold on. They're trying to make it seem like, oh yeah, in every way, Charlie Kirk was a rags to riches story. Bro, where do you think he got that $100 million DZAX from, bro? And this is the difference between the right and the left, right? Is that Charlie Kirk, yes, he raised over $100 million, but that was from right-wing billionaires who fund right-wing think tanks who want to do right-wing propaganda. And they realize Kirk would be a really good propagandist for us, and he could help try to sway the youth and make them go Republican. That was the goal. So the idea, oh, he's raised $100 million. No. The $100 million was from billionaires, sucking up to billionaires who fund right-wing think tanks. That's the difference. So that's what he does. I've never even talked to a billionaire. I've never talked to an ad company. I've never done an ad read. I've never talked to a billionaire. I don't fucking raise money like that because that's not pure. You are biasing what you're doing because now they get veto power over what your agenda is, right? And that's why you saw Charlie on a number of different occasions might say one thing, but the program might be the opposite, and there's a problem, right? There's a problem in that scenario. Half the time he'd pretend to be populist, and then, it turns out billionaires don't like populism, so then he would swing to be more libertarian, right? Like, this is the problem with billionaires funding you, is they get veto power. An interesting fact about Brylan is that his dad, get this, so they're, anti-government conservatism, right? His dad owns low-income housing in Alabama and gets paid for by the federal government. So they end up basically funding his lavish lifestyle and their wealth. In response to Donahue's criticism, Hollyhan told the Daily Mail, "In my 2 years at the RNC helping get Trump back in the Oval Office, our team helped our party dominate on TikTok, bring GOP candidates to college campuses, stream our debates so Gen Z had a front row seat to democracy in action, and modernize the grand old party." Oh, please, dude, you were nothing. I'm proud that Gen Z was able to help get Trump back in the Oval Office and deliver Republicans a majority in Congress. Meanwhile, Hollyhan found himself going viral over the weekend, but not for the right reasons. He posted the video. This is the private jet thing we were talking about. Stay in line, guys. If you're there, just stay in line, bro. Samuel Gonzalez, 22, president of Turning Point at Mississippi State and a senior at the college where Hollyhan has planned a tour stop on October 20th, told the Daily Mail that he was approached by one of TPUSA's field representatives who oversees several chapters in an assigned geographic region and encouraged to work with Hollyhan. Quote, "We understand that Hollyhan is a partnering with the National Turning Point USA headquarters to be a speaker. Hollyhan, though, does have his MAGA defenders, including former Trump lawyer Jenna Ellis." Anyway, so you got some people defending him. I mean, this is what they are, right? Like, they're a bunch of fucking jackals and hyenas and demons on the right who are just like, they're just chomping at the bit to get theirs. So, I need to get mine. It's not about the mission. It's not about the ideology. Like, he just wants to be fucking famous. He wants to be famous. And he decided, hey, it's a good way to get famous and make a lot of money is to parrot billionaires' talking points and fascist talking points. And it just so happens that he's too entitled and it was too tasteless to hop in front of the cameras this fucking hour after Charlie Kirk was killed because people see right through you for what you are. And I got to say, I'm kind of happy that the most of MAGA is like, hey, man, fuck off. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.